welcome to Apex Esports League. Tonight we're live on iRacing for round 3 of the Pagnian Imports GT3 Championship. Tonight we're at Watkins Glen International in the boot variation. Tonight's session at Watkins Glen, we have 10 minutes of practice. Weather starts as overcast, then we've got 10 minutes of qualifying, 40 minutes of racing, and then the cars are capped to 47%, so we'll need to see them head into the pits to be able to finish the race. It is a standing start, and then it restarts a single file with lap cars to the back. So look at the standings. After the second round, we have Robbie Bradbury take the championship lead with 233 points. He's closely followed by Blake Urquhart. And the results last week, we had Robbie Bradbury take the win at Sebring after qualifying second. We saw Cameron Veacock take the fastest lap bonus points. So we'll check out the track. And it has actually loaded up the wrong track data there, but the track is actually 5.55 kilometers long with 11 turns in this variation. So we'll jump over into the grid now and see the drivers that are loading in. If you're joining us for the stream, don't forget to hit that follow button as well. Jump in the chat, say hello. And then there's a whole bunch of sound effects controls down underneath as well. A fair few drivers loading into the session. I can't actually get my split data up at the moment. I'm encountering a few little technical issues. If I can get that up and be able to get a little bit more information during the course of the race. We have Damien Cross out there in the Ferrari. Gomes just loading into the session. They're running the Porsche. Over to Lucas Burt. And we'll just loosen heads up while I try and get up some more information. can't seem to get my information up, so I'll just have to try and run with how it's going. Unfortunately, a few tech issues causing some dramas there. So it's just the end of our practice session. Mick, which car can you go for? Definitely Banks's Ford GT for sure. So a bunch of drivers scrambling out on the track to try and take advantage of that 10 minutes of qualifying. A few still loading in. Not quite on the track. I can't actually see which ones are loaded in at the moment with my controls that I'm getting. We got Blake Urquhart currently parked up in the pits. Karen Veacock is just loading to the session. He was hoping to be able to make it to it. He was rushing home to be able to get to it. Eddie Parker currently parked in the pits. We'll try and jump on for a hot lap with someone as well. We don't have anyone doing the hot lap announcement with us today. No volunteers to be able to talk us through a lap. Stephen Banks out there in the Ford GT. You can hear that thing purring above all the others around it. Jumped on board for a lap around Sebring last week in the GT. Looks like Sid Miller out there in a McLaren. I think that is the... we may have actually had another McLaren as well, I think. Yeah, Phil Buckland also running the McLaren. I think he'd been the lone driver of the McLaren from the start of the series. Peter's over in the Mercedes. Blake Eckert just going through the S's, and he just had a car lose out in front of him. Not sure whose car that was. That's Jamie Cross's Ferrari going off for a spin. And we find someone that's about to cut a new lap, and then we'll jump on board for a lap around. Karen Veacock making it with enough time to be able to qualifying lap in. And Robbie Bradbury in the Ferrari had a great run last week. He narrowly avoided the incident in turn 1. Otherwise, we possibly would have seen a little bit more battling up the fronts that allowed him to really get ahead of the competition. So Robbie Bradbury's got the pole position with a 1:43.733. Stephen Banks only 0.064 off of his time. So that is very tight. Big slide there for Nathan Peters. View from that curbside camera. Danny Gomes hanging around in that Porsche. Michael Quain in the BMW. He was caught up here with some bad luck last week. The incident where we saw Karen Veacock have some huge contact down pit straight. It was actually due to a technical fault that occurred. He was going along pit straight and Quain was following behind, and then Veacock's car just completely slammed on the brakes. So with some update going on in the background, causing dramas with the pedals. And the car coming to a complete stop, leaving Quain nowhere to go, and it actually ended up flipping Veacock's car. So when we crossed over, it was only just taking off back down the track, but it actually was involved in a very heavy incident, and quite lucky for Quain to have not actually taken too much damage. And following that, it looks like he may be on track to go for a start of a lap, by the looks of things. And a little bit slow and having to be able to change between drives at the moment, as my screen I usually use to select all the drivers has actually vanished entirely. Blake Urquhart's taken the pole with 1:43, Veacock taken second. Down pit straight, down into turn 1, very slippery corner. I'm going to try and get as much pace as you can to be able to fly through, ready for turn 2 and up that hill. And flat stick for all this up until the S's. There's 30 seconds remaining of qualifying. Hopefully we've got enough time to be able to through this lap. Here's you see how much those curves throw the cars around. We're watching the drivers take that golden line down between from trackside. It looked like they barely moved at all, but they are rather aggressive. Hey Steph, thanks for jumping on the stream. Yes, definitely love Watkins Glen. It's a fantastic flowing track. Juice right at the end. Put it on exciting for the time being. Just trying to move this hidden window that I have lost. Drivers finishing up those last laps now. So let's see if we can get those qualifying results. I don't think I've caught it in time. No, it hasn't. It is just molding up. I did miss. So it looks like Blake Urquhart took the pole position, however. We've got 20 seconds for all drivers. Hit that ready button. There we go, about to see the lights go green.
flag, green flag.
Karen Veacock gets a fantastic start. He's just moving on up the side of Blake Urquhart. He's already having to look to defend to Veacock. He is holding off very well. Veacock's probing to try and get around. He's going to have to maintain that pace. Looks like Veacock's got Gomes closing in behind. That's Banks following him behind in 4th position. Blake Urquhart starting to pull away from Veacock as he's looking to wrap up the first lap. He's put a huge amount of gain in that last sector. Veacock now feeling some pressure from Gomes, and he's even swinging out for a turn 1 pass. Can he get him? He's not far enough ahead. It's Porsche on Porsche. This will be a good opportunity for Banks to try and close in while those two are occupied. Well, a few drivers had to go down towards the back. There's obviously been an incident involved there. So it looks like they're having to tow. Unfortunately, I can't see pit information. Ooh, bit of contact. I think that's Stead Miller's car. Looks like two locked together and it just shot his car out off track into the wall. Car's seeming to be drivable. There's a fair bit of front end damage to that car there. You can see that heavy dent in the middle. Bird having a few dramas. That's allowed Miller to recover a position lost. So there's now 4 cars in pit lane. Robbie Bradbury currently in 5th position. Looks like Cross and Quain closing in from behind. Looks like Corey Brand following in 8th position. Urquhart still leading the way. Banks starting to fall back away from the leading few. Now got 1.2 separating himself and Gomes. And Gomes starting to drop back from Veacock. He's definitely showing a lot more pace now and closing that gap on Urquhart. Guys in the pits now finished up and back out on track by the looks of it as well. Things are heating up between Cross and Quain. Quain's closing in quickly now. That BMW taking on that Ferrari. That BMW dialed in, nearly gets him on the exit of the S's. He's going to be able to carrying a heap of pace here. Well, Matty Parker's retired out. Oh, there's been a spin. I think that may have been Gomes. So he's just lost that third position. He's dropped down into 8th now. The battle between Quain and Cross still continuing. That car still leads the way. Some wall contact, maybe some lap traffic up ahead. Banks was sitting in an easy third position, but he's now got Robbie Bradbury starting to close in on his tail. Even get up any lap data to be able to see what times they're actually running for their previous pace. So it's a little bit flying blind tonight. Gomes looking to be able to move back up. So he's just passing Brand at the moment. That gets him back up in the 7th position. Well, he's made a bit of a touch. That's put him into a slip as well. He's really close to that racing line. He's going to have to try and get out off quickly. Yeah, well done. Veacock now closing that gap even more. Seeing that Urquhart had a little bit more pace in that last sector where he was being able to pull away from Veacock a little. Veacock's now got that Porsche dialed right in. Urquhart's starting to feel a little bit of the pressure. You can see a little bit of rear slip. He's trying to push as much out of that Ferrari as he can. Hanging off the rear of Urquhart's Ferrari. He's going to go for a pass in. No, nearly. He's had several digs at him. I'm not sure if he may be actually trying to probe through or just Trying to be a little bit of a nuisance, bother their mirrors, put the pressure on. Here we go, I know. While they've been battling it out, I've been able to finally get my screen back, so all go again now. I can easily switch and see what's going on. Veacock currently showing a lot more pace than Urquhart. That last lap was nearly full 2/10 quicker than Urquhart. But these two, at least a good 2 to 2 seconds above the rest of the front runners. So that's why these two are so far ahead. There's a 6.5 second gap to third position, where Banks succumbed to Bradbury. This is feeling much more comfortable getting my normal screen. Trying to Google all sorts of different things while trying to broadcast at the same time, trying to figure out how to fix this. Did have two drivers needing a tow at that start where we saw the cars in pit lane. Peters and Gander both requiring a tow. Instead, Miller making an early pit stop, so he spent 77 seconds in the pits. The other thing too is if he isn't aware that there are fast repairs available, he may not have actually done that after taking the damage. Look at those flames being spat out of the back of that McLaren. It is a fantastic looking car, that one. Cross currently in the pits now. And Urquhart still holding off Veacock. While that's going on, fingers are getting close between Burt and Buckland. Burt's making a move down through just before the S's. He gets a fantastic run. Urquhart runs a very wide. He's still feeling that pressure from Veacock. He's going to go for a pass. Nearly door to door through the left hand, but it's not going to be real position. So he has to tuck back in for the next right. Gets him at the exit. Is he going to have enough pace down pit straight? He's going to have the advantage for turn one. It's going to be interesting door to door for turn one. That Porsche is not going to want to hold on too much, especially for an inside line, but he does it. What a pass, but he's still not getting away with it yet. Urquhart's looking to get that back. He didn't get too good of a run from that inside line through turn one. It gave the advantage to Urquhart going up the hill for turn two. Look at that Porsche pull away through the S's. Buckland and Burt still staying close to each other. Hasn't gotten away too far on him. Gomes currently just been in and pit at 13.8 seconds in the pits. Grabbing that fuel. So we're about 4 minutes away from the halfway point. So it's like we may see a few get in. We've seen them drag the car out. It's usually about the 30-minute mark before things start getting very light. Vicock pulling away very quickly now. He's almost got a 1 second go. It is just now 1 second. That lap a 1:43.483. And that is actually the session fastest lap just being done by Vicock. It was previously owned by Urquhart the lap before. So now on lap 9, Urquhart having led for 8. Miller just having to pit. Looks like he's gone for a tow potentially. It's quite a lengthy one showing up. Buckland moves up a position. That's Gary Buckland. We do have 2 Bucklands running, Philip and Gary. Take a quick look at the standings as we're approaching the halfway point. We have Stead Miller. We do have Matty Parker in 16th. He's retired out on lap 1. Then we have Stead Miller in 15th. Gary Buckland ran into a little bit of trouble. Not sure if it was him moving over to let some of the race leaders through or not. So it looks like Cross up ahead. Gary Buckland in 14th. Nathan Peters 13th. Russell Gander in 12th. Shane Newens in 11th. P10 we have Daniel Gomes. Was running 3rd for a while. And then ran into some bad luck. I've seen him drop down into 10th. Corey Brand in P9. Damon Cross 8th. Philip Buckland in 7th. Still holding tight to the tail of Burt. He looks like he's starting to close in a little. But did have the advantage of him before getting a pass in the S's. And he started to pull away, but that gap's been quickly dissipating. It's been done mostly on this lap. Phillips' last lap was a 1:47.206, where Burt did a 1:46.6. So he's made it all up on this lap. We've got Quain in P5. Banks in 4th, starting the drop back. What a roar as that screams past. Urquhart just gone in the pits. There's been a position change. So now I have Bradbury in 2nd, and our race leader is Cameron Vicock. Oh no, and that's Buckland's gone for a big spin. That's on a blind corner as well. He's going to have to move that car pretty quick. Gets off into that runoff space. It looks like a solid hit. I don't think that car's going to be wanting to steer too nicely. Oh, look at that. Perfectly placed in pit lane there. So we can easily limp that back in. Urquhart now back out on the track. A 15.3 second stop. So he's the first of our race leaders to pit. There's 19.5 minutes remaining, so we're just past the halfway point. Buckland just finished in the pits. Ahead of him is Shane Newens. That's Cameron Veacock in to get around Buckland. So perfect spot, doesn't lose too much space, too much pace. Carrying lots of pace down through turn 10. He's bringing that into the pits now. Next in line is Daniel Gomes. Make up a position here while Brand's in the pits. Gomes has already pit, so if he can last out for the remainder of the 17.5 minutes. Gets Brand and Burt as well. This Gomes now moves back up into 7th position. Cross having also pit. He's got 26 seconds of space between himself and Daniel Gomes, so he's sitting comfortably in P6. There's only 20 seconds until they catch up to position 5 of Blake Urquhart. So he was running in 2nd before pitting in. He's the first of our front runners to pit. Oh, Bradbury just been caught up losing a couple of positions. He was running in 2nd. Now I've got all these controls back up. Might be able to actually try to figure out what went on for Bradbury. Oh, it's a bit of oversteer. That could have gone very bad. So, brilliant recovery. Scrapes the wall just a little bit. He's going to try and make up as much time as he can. He's now only got about 15 seconds separating himself and Blake Urquhart. And Urquhart is the closest competitor to him at the moment for the championship. Hey, Vortex, thanks for jumping on the stream. Yes, that he did. Phil did spin off at the most perfect point. It's also the same for drivers that need a tow as well. Close you are to those pits, the less time you actually take to have the car taken back to the pits. And the worst timing is actually once the race is under safety, it actually adds more time to that. I do love that curb camera there. This track's got some fantastic default cameras. That's great. It is our first time broadcasting a race at Watkins Glen. They're on lap 14. Cameron Veacock's led for the last 6 laps. Oh, there's some incident going on. That's Nathan Peters in the Mercedes. Or he's just trying to get that car out of the way without causing incident. And that big long Mercedes not wanting to turn around, he's going to have to be in that wall. And Veacock now going into the pits. Banks deciding to follow. So there's a 19.4 second gap between first and second. Veacock's got ample time. Bradbury coming into the pits now. That means that Blake Urquhart will reclaim a couple of positions as he moves on past the drivers in pit lane. Veacock had ample time to be able to get in and out and maintain that race lead. And for all those that may be joining us for the stream, don't forget to hit that follow button if you haven't done so already. And do use those sound effects controls down underneath the stream. You can cheer on and applaud the drivers as they battle it out around Watkins Glen. And it will actually be recorded over the stream. Don't be shy, jump in the chat as well. Let us know who you think may be actually looking to win the championship. So race leader Cameron Veacock opened up with a clean sweep in round 1. And last week ran into lots of bad luck. He was actually dared to start from pit lane, or sorry, from the rear of the grid, which he took up the challenge, and he was making up heaps of ground. Then he ran into all sorts of bad luck and some tech issues, ultimately throwing the race for him. So he's looking to reclaim some more points tonight, and he's definitely doing so. There's only 11.5 minutes left on the clock. Thanks, just passing. I think that is Lucas Burt. Brand just in behind Robbie Bradbury. Now racing for positions after that spin. A lengthy pit stop for Bradbury. 53.7 seconds. And with the drivers having fast repairs, it's probably a set of tyres and fuel that he may have taken on. Unless he's ended up doing some minor repairs. He did make a little bit of a touch to the wall. Michael Quain hot on the tail of Cross. He almost went to give in and give that position away. Quain's BMW. Quain coughing a huge amount of points loss as well after round 1. So he did start out in the Ferrari when he opted to actually change car for the rest of the series, changing over to the BMW. Looks like it's a good choice, that BMW handling very well. Encountered a heap of bad luck being involved in the incident with VCOC last week, and it gets him through turn 11. Banks in third position, Urquhart in second. With Urquhart now 5 positions ahead of the championship leader, Robbie Bradbury. And also qualifying ahead. That's going to be opening up. Oh, we can hear a fair bit of crunching around. I think Russell Gander may have just gone off ahead of where we were. We crossed over to Urquhart. He's just towed that car. Spacing going on for most of the drivers now. There's just over 7.5 minutes remaining. Peters moves up a position while Gander's in the pits. Yes, again, we just saw his car lift, so they're just servicing the car now, so all that time sitting there was the tow time, and away he goes. That's allowed Gary Buckland to move up a position. He now moves into P13. Peters moves to 12th. Have Lucas Burt in 11th, Phil Buckland in 10th, Shane Newlands running 9th, Corey Brand in 8th, Robbie Bradbury in 7th, Gomes P6. Damon Cross P5. Oh, a bit of smoke. Not sure if someone's gone off. It may have just been a lock. Michael Quain in 4th. Lap times are very similar between himself and Cross behind. Cross may be looking to try and get this position from Quain. So we can see a potential move in the next couple of laps. There's only going to be a few more laps in it. We've got Stephen Banks running P3. Blake Urquhart in 2nd position. And our race lead is Cameron VCOC. Veacock's Porsche. Dialing that thing out. Listen to that scream from it. Got some lap traffic coming up. That's Russell Gander up ahead. Gets around quickly, not losing any pace. He's got 9.2 seconds separating himself. That's only a few corners away. Gap between Cross and Quain now starting to further. I think slowing down Quain at the moment. He's got a nice amount of clear track between himself and Stephen Banks. Runs a tad wide, but it's alright. Narrowly brought it in just before the dirt. Mercedes nearby, and there is. It's Nathan Peters behind Robbie Bradbury, just been lapped. Cars widely spaced now. We're coming down to the last lap. This is now lap 22. Veacock's led for the last 14 laps. Haven't taken the race lead after 8 laps from Blake Urquhart. He's put another second between himself and P2. That's now pushed out the 10.2. It's around. I believe that's Shane Ewan's car. 30 seconds left. We'll see the white flag come up once that countdown reaches 0. With 1:43 second lap times. I think only just crossed the line not too long ago. We get to see another lap. This is the final. Veacock just needs to get that car back across the line, nice and safe. He's got ample time if he does get stuck behind a lapped car. He doesn't have to try and make a risky move to get past. Urquhart's dropping a fair bit. His race pace slightly dropped. Not sure whether the tyres may be well and truly done. And Veacock taking the win. Crosses the line for win for round 3. Congratulations, Cameron. Probably some burnouts being done down by turn 1 now. Blake Urquhart crosses the podium in P2. Looks like a podium finish for Stephen Banks. Both Urquhart and Banks caught up in the incident in turn 1 last week. Missing out on a podium opportunity, and they get it this week. Congratulations, Stephen, taking P3. Great drive in the BMW by Michael Quain. Taking P4. Goes up into P5. Not sure if it was after the fact when we got Damien Cross. Robbie Bradbury coming up in 7th. Yeah. Engine's going. So Mary's bonnet reappeared after making that first wall contact. That was rather interesting. A little bit of net code while he's wrecking the car across the line. Corey Brand brings it home, P8. Shane Ewan's bringing it in. So we'll bring up these results now that we are done and dusted. And then we have, after 23 laps around Watkins Glen, Cameron Veacock takes the win. And then also on the podium we have is Blake Urquhart, Stephen Banks, and then the rest of the standings is Michael Quain, Daniel Gomes, and we've got Damien Cross, Robbie Bradbury, Corey Brand, Shane Newans, Philip Buckland, Nathan Peters, Lucas Burt, Russell Gander, Gary Buckland, and then Stead Miller and Maddie Parker. And we'll cross over. See who we've got in the channel. And congratulations, Cameron.
Thanks, buddy.
Good drive in the Porsche.
Yeah. It wanted to kill me there a couple of times, and there's a couple of laps there that I don't really want to relive. I think I nearly died coming through the bus stop at one point, and I think I lost about a second and a half to Blake, and all I saw was ending up in that wall. But other than that, the thing was very, very stable. Just if you caught a bump the wrong way, it was good.
Yeah, it managed to be really holding nicely down through the S's. So you're seeming to make up most of your lap time through there when you're chasing down Blake for those 8 laps.
Yeah, so coming down through there, I'm not sure what was going on. Blake's car looked a little bit taily and a little bit squirrely, but the Porsche seemed to come down through there nicely just because I could trail brake all the way in and then pushed out wide. I suffered some oversteer at the top of the hill there where the camber changes. It wanted to push me out to the fence, and yep. I think Blake was struggling the same thing. Watching his car do we were chalk and cheese there for a while, but it was good fun racing him.
Yeah, definitely. It was good seeing that battle between you for those 8 laps, and then Blake then having much better luck after last week, actually, for all 3 of yous on the podium tonight after all the incidents last week.
Yeah, definitely much better qualifying attempt. I didn't have any practice towards this event, so my first laps were in quali, and I was terrified, honestly. All I had to do was try and stay behind Blake for a few laps, which was those 8 laps, just to get some lines and some braking markers, and then I could push on.
Yeah, well done. It paid off. And congratulations, Blake. We got Blake. Got his mic turned off.
Yep, I'm here.
Having a nap, were you?
Yeah, no.
All that hard work.
I was sweating, didn't forget to turn the fan on. No, it was alright. I was lagging a little bit, but I wouldn't say that's my excuse. But yeah, no, it was good racing with Cameron. I was going to sit behind him, but I didn't. I should have. And then I've said that for the later of the race, and my times were just shit. I think I should have just stayed in the tow just to save the fuel. But yeah, it's Watkins Glen. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of laps around this track. I don't know. I was surprised actually they put it on pole. So, but yeah, no. Other than that, it was really good reversing Cameron. But yeah, hopefully next week's like this especially after last week. It's good to be back on the podium again.
Yeah, and it should be a nice little finish, finishing just ahead of Bradbury too, 'cause you weren't too many points off him on the championship. So with him finishing in 7th and taking the pole, you should be sitting nicely ahead now for championship wise.
Yeah, hopefully I can stay that way for next week as well.
Yeah, hopefully holds off again next week as well for you.
Yeah, thanks JT.
And congratulations, Stephen.
Thanks, JT.
And the same goes for you. Much better luck this week.
Yeah, it's much cleaner race than the previous week. So no, it was good. It was kind of had reasonable pace at the start, but then yeah, just the tyres and couldn't keep up. Those boys were going pretty quick out front. Just have to push it too hard to try and keep up. So yeah, they'll kind of watched them go off into the distance, and yeah, I didn't really have to do too much. I had a couple of guys spin in front of me. Unfortunately, Robbie had a spin, which was costly for him.
Yeah, it was quite close coming around that corner too for you.
Yeah.
Passing him, he was just off far enough for you to get around.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit close, but no, it was all good. Unfortunately, I didn't get past anyone by sending it. It was just everyone else's misfortune, unfortunately. So, have those days.
Yeah. But yeah, congratulations all three of you. Doing a fantastic job out there at the Glen. So hopefully you can try and replicate it again next week for Silverstone.
Yeah, cheers JT.
Yeah, definitely. It was good fun racing the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Thanks, Blake, for the first 8 laps. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Anytime. If you want to help for next week, I'm happy to do it again. Maybe I'll sit behind you.
Just save some fuel. And,
Save some fuel and tyres. That was shocking. I was doing 44s after that, so.
Yeah, I thought
You
your tyres
killed
must
him.
have been well and truly done towards the end. That pace was dropping off and she wasn't turning too sharp.
Yeah, nah. It's big understeers, I just couldn't turn. Especially then the back was the worst. So, yeah. I know for next week.
Just stay in the draft and save some fuel.
That's it, mate. That's what I should have done. I tried to send it, but didn't happen.
Yeah, congrats,
Nice,
guys.
Thanks, JT.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
There we have our podium finishes with Cameron Veacock taking the win in round 3, Blake Hokart in position 2, and Stephen Banks in P3. And then we'll be back again next week for round 4. So we're heading over to the UK for Silverstone Circuit, and it is actually the legacy version, so the 2008 GP variant. So it's going to be great seeing these guys tackle the older Silverstone. So do hit that follow button if you haven't done so, because we'll be back again 7:30 PM next week on Monday night for round 4 of the Pagnian Imports GT3 Championship. And if you want to see more GT3 racing, we're here also on Thursday night, same time on Project Cars 2 for PlayStation. We've got 2 divisions running on the GT3s, so plenty of racing to be seen. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you trackside next time.